Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Katie. I'm a little unorthodox, so don't be alarmed by anything that you see or hear on my channel. I do want to give a quick disclaimer. I may cuss because I can't help it. I do makeup. I do not claim to be a professional makeup artist. I'm not. I just dabble in it, play around in it. This was the look I came up with today. But I also make eyeshadow palettes. So I'm going to show you. This is one, getting a couple together here, that I made just the other day. You can customize them, make them however you want them, whatever colors you want. They're incredibly pigmented, which is fantastic. I just started doing this about a month or so ago, and I love it. It's so much fun, and I get to make my own eyeshadow, and it's awesome. So today, I'm going to show you guys how I do it. I actually had a request on one of my videos to do a tutorial to show you guys how I do it. So that's what's going to happen today. Anyway, I hope everybody's having a fabulous day. I know I am. I'm going to talk a lot because I'm a chatty Cathy, so bear with me. And if you could, while you're watching this, take a minute, subscribe to my channel, like my shit, comment on it. If you have questions, I'm an open book. This is my first actual tutorial, so don't come for me, and be kind, please be kind. I'm very sensitive, all right? But anyway, I've had some requests to show how this is done, so I'm going to show you how to do it, and I'm going to tilt my camera down, so bear with me here just a second. It might be a little weird at first, so y'all can see what I'm doing. Hope I don't drop my camera. If I do, I apologize. So let me scoot you back so you can get a better view here. What I'm working with. This is my tray. I'll pull it back so you can see it. So I've got these pigments here. This is the 4 that I'm going to do today. It doesn't have to just be 4. You can do however many you want. You can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 10, 12. I mean, it doesn't matter. I use shot glasses to mix my pigments in. That's just how I do it. You don't have to. I do have these other loose pigments like these here. I got them on TKB Trading. I'll put the link in my bio. And I've got my glycerin and my rubbing alcohol mix in this little bottle here. I've also got, let me move this around, my little spatula tool, which came with a little kit that I bought on Amazon. Inexpensive, not bad at all. And I've got my little scooper tools. And I love the way that they are labeled because it's like a pinch or a tad or a drop or a dash, so it's really cute the way they did that. And then I also on Amazon bought a whole bundle of these little eyeshadow trays. Very inexpensive. I got like 50 of them for like $8, so it wasn't bad. But anyway, we're gonna get into this and I'll show you. I bought this Craftus mica powder kit. They're all loose pigments, so they look like this, and they're all numbered. Obviously, I've taken some out, so it looks a little weird. And don't mind my little tester over here. But you can see this is what they look like, and I'll show you with one of these. This is number 10, and it is just a loose pigment. I'll even take the lid off for you. I haven't opened this one yet, so y'all get to see me open this one for the first time. So, loose pigment. Beautiful color, very pigmented. I love working with these, and I've made a couple of palettes with these, so I'm super impressed by how they are. But I also have, like I said, these that came with the TKB Trading kit that I got initially, that came with this guy too. So you can take these and you can mix and match. You can customize your color however you want it. You can add darker, lighter. Obviously, you add white to something, it's going to lighten it up. You add black to something, it's going to darken it up. You do want to be careful, kind of, maybe study a color wheel a little bit. Let me move you back up so you have an idea of what you're really working with in terms of colors. I like to just kind of go for it and go into it. I like bright, fun, pretty colors. Obviously, you can see I have brown and blue on my eyes today. But if you check out my channel, which I hope you do, I've got tons of other looks on there. So please do that. Subscribe, like, comment. I want feedback. I like constructive criticism. Just don't be mean about it. All right, we're dipping into this. I'm doing a 4 palette today, so I'm going to dip you back down here so you can see what's happening. I might move you back a little bit, so bear with me. I've watched some videos on YouTube about how to do this. this is how I've been doing it. I know it probably looks weird because you're just seeing my mouth. But that's how we're doing it. Let me take a drink and we're gonna get busy. I have decided on these 4 colors for this palette today. All right, so we're gonna do a yellow, a brown, a blue, and a real pretty like pastel pink. And I think I wanna do the pink first because I like pink a lot. So this one also I have not used yet, so I'm gonna pop my little top off here. I'm gonna pick up one of my shot glasses. You don't have to use a shot glass, you can use whatever you want. This is just convenient, they're small and easy for me. But like I said, however you wanna do it is fine. But we're gonna dip right into this, and I'm going to take my biggest scooper, which is this one right here, and it's actually labeled as Tad. And I don't know if you can see it because there's probably a glare from my ring light. But I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna do a scoop and then another scoop. And I kind of go over a little bit because you want to make sure that you fill your tin as much as you can. Sometimes you wind up with excess. Sometimes I don't get enough. I'm still learning, so it's kind of hit or miss. But you can do whatever you want to do and go in terms of that. So what I have in my jar over here, my little container here, is, like I said, it is just glycerin and 91% rubbing alcohol. The higher the percentage of rubbing alcohol, the faster it's going to dry. So you want to remember that. I chose 91. It seems to be doing well for me. So what I did in this bottle, it was full, is I did half glycerin, which you can get at a Michael's, a Hobby Lobby. You can order it on Amazon. Wherever you want to is fine. So I do half glycerin and half rubbing alcohol. Just make sure you mix it before you get going. So I have my pigment in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. I eyeball it. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I don't know. I'm sure there's a science behind it, but I eyeball it. And that's what I'm going to do today. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to do a few little drops here. And then I'm going to take my spatula, which you don't have to have a spatula for it. You can use a toothpick. You can use the end of a knife. I mean, like whatever you've got. Ooh, there we go. Spilling that shit everywhere. Whatever you've got laying around is fine. You're going to notice immediately that it's going to kind of clump up like this, which is fine. I just kind of put it on the edge and then I mix it back in with all the rest of it. I have found, and this is just me personally, that I do like it to look a little clumpy because I feel like it's easier to press when we get to the point of pressing. I know this is loud and obnoxious, and I'm sorry guys, it's probably hurting your ears. But I'm gonna mix this like this, and all I'm doing is tapping those big clumps so it kind of mixes into each other, mixing it all around. Literally, that's all I'm doing. I'm gonna scrape it off the sides here. And then once I've got it to the consistency that I think I want, which it does look clumpy, I'm gonna move my little tin over, and I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna tap everything down, and I'm going to very carefully, which I'm not always, take my spatula and put it in my tin, just like this. I kind of pat it down as I go, just so I have more room. I can see how full I'm getting it, because we are gonna pack it here in a minute, and I wanna show you how to do that. But I'm gonna dump all the rest of that out. Set that guy aside. Oh my gosh, this is a beautiful pink. Oh, holy shit. And I'm gonna pack it just a little bit more like this. And then you can use, they actually have packing tools. Like, they have the entire kits. I use a quarter. It cost me 25 cents. So that's what I'm gonna use today. So I've got that where I want it. This is a messy thing, so if you don't want to get messy, wear gloves. If you don't mind getting messy, then do what I'm doing, and that's fine. I'm going to take a paper towel, because what you're going to want to do is place the paper towel over your little tin. I'm going to take my quarter. I'm going to find where it fits right in, and I'm going to press. So what you're doing when you press is you are expelling all of the excess rubbing alcohol and glycerin, all right? Some colors, see, that didn't leave much on there, which is not bad. That's actually a good thing. Some colors, or if you overuse your mixture here, you're gonna see a lot more come off on your paper towel, which is fine. The more you press, the better. The faster it's gonna dry. Generally, what happens is after you've pressed, you wanna let this set for 24 to 48 hours before you actually use it. So I've pressed my pigment in here. I'm gonna lift this up, and you're gonna see what it looks like once it's been pressed. Look how beautiful. At the end of this, I am going to take a swatch. I'll put it on my hand so you guys can see what each color looks like. But that's what you come up with in the end after it's been pressed. This needs to set. I'm going to set it right over here for a little bit while we're doing the rest of them. I'm going to save my paper towel, save the trees, you know, and I'm going to clean off my tools a little bit. I have this tray specifically dedicated for this, so I'm not worried about it getting messy. I wash it after each one. But you want to be careful that you're not mixing like other colors of your pigments into the one that you're working on currently. So I'm going to take another tin. They're empty. I showed you earlier. Thin, T90. I got a set of like 50 for like $8. I mean, it wasn't bad at all. So I'm going to get that ready. I'm going to get my next shot glass ready. If you don't have multiple containers to mix in, what I would have done is just mix a little rubbing alcohol in here with a paper towel and cleaned it out, which I'm going to have to do in a minute, so I'll show you how to do that once I run out. So I've done my pink, so I'm going to make sure my lid's back on here. I'm going to put it up where it goes. And then, I don't know, let's pick a color. Let's do blue next, because blue is my favorite color. So I'm going to do this blue. It's called Miner's Jeans. It is number 10. Same thing, loose pigment. So I'm going to take this, I'm just going to clean off my little scooper just a little bit so I'm not mixing those pigments together. Oh, I'm so excited to use this. I'm going to have to come up with a fun look. Same thing, I found out that one filled pretty well, so I'm going to do a scoop, 2 scoops, which is actually, that's called a tad. That's the way they label it in here. If you find in the middle of your mixture that you're not filling your tin completely, it is completely acceptable to add some more pigment and a couple more drops of this if you need to, and add some more. So don't be alarmed by that. You can totally do that. Take a drink. All right, so what I'm going to do, get that nice and loose. And I'm going to take my glycerin and my alcohol, shake it up a couple times, and give myself a few drops. All right, this one's clear, so you'll actually see me mixing it while it's in here. Be careful mixing though. You don't want to mix too fast, which I have done. See how that clumps up like that? So I'm going to scrape it on the side and put it back in there and mix it in with the rest. I personally have found that I like it to look kind of clumpy by the time you're done. So if you wind up needing to add a couple more drops of your mixture, the glycerin and the rubbing alcohol, go for it. I mean, do what you need to do. But once you get it kind of clumpy, and I know that sounds awful, you generally don't want things to be clumpy, but once you press it, it's not going to be that way. This blue is beautiful, by the way. What I'm going to do, I got my tin ready. It's clean. I'm just going to scoop these pigments into here. Get that first little set here. I'm going to kind of pat it down just a little bit, and we're going to go in with the rest. Pat it down as you go, like so. Sometimes it helps to tap your glass. I know that's probably annoying, and I apologize, guys. Once all the pigment's out, I'm going to pat it down, kind of fill the tin. You're going to have some fallout, and that's fine. I mean, it's completely acceptable. You're working with loose pigment, so that's to be expected for sure. But once I've got that pretty much where I want it all the way around, and like I said, it's messy. You're going to get stuff all over your hands. So don't touch your face, don't touch your clothes, wear something you don't mind getting dirty for sure. Same thing that we did earlier. I'm going to take my paper towel, make sure it's on a clean spot. I'm going to lay it over my tin here and take my quarter, and I'm going to press. And it's going to, this had quite a bit more than the pink did. It's going to expel that extra glycerin and that extra rubbing alcohol, which is fine because that's what you want. Because this is going to sit and dry. Sorry, my dog is barking. Stevie, it's okay, mama. I know, it's just Covey. So I'm going to press it a third time. You want to press it, like I said, some pigments are going to take more pressing than others. So you may have to press it 6 or 7 or 8 times, but you'll notice the look on your paper towel, it's going to get less and less as you go. I'm actually going to do mine one more time. Here we go. And that blue just turns out gorgeous. Look at that. Love it. So that tin filled fairly well. I probably could have done a little bit better, but like I said, at the end of the day, if you decide you want to add a little bit more powder, go for it, and then just add you a little bit more of your glycerin and your alcohol. Easy peasy. All right, I'm going to clean off my spatula again, and we're going to go right into the next color. Like I said, this tray is meant for this. I will clean it off, so I dust off all my loose pigments. And then we just move on to the next one. Super easy. Save some paper towels, right? All right, so far we've done pink and blue. I'm going to put my blue out. Well, I'm actually going to keep that out for a minute. Let's do this beautiful, like, brown goldy color, because I'm excited about this. Generally, when you're... Ooh, see, I haven't used this one yet either, so I'm going to take that off. If you're doing a makeup look, when you have a palette, I'm going to bring y'all up a little bit here real quick so I can talk to you. When you're doing makeup and you have a palette, you want to have options in it. So you're going to want to have lighter colors that you can put up top. You're going to want a darker color for your crease and an even darker color that goes on the outside. If you're doing just, I guess, a regular look. I don't know what regular is. I rarely do regular looks. Check out my channel even further. You'll realize I don't. So I like to be able to mix that. So I've got the light color here. I've got a pretty darker blue here, but I'm also going to have this dark brown. That'll be a good, like, outer corner color. You can even use some of these colors for highlights. So if you've got a light enough color, let me see here. Like let me find it. This white that I have, and I don't know if you can really tell in here, makes a beautiful highlight. And I've actually made a palette for a friend and used this and put glitter in it, which I think I may do in one of these. I may save it for my yellow and put gold glitter in it. But you can use that, and you can use them for blushes, you can use them for highlights, you can use them for eyeshadow. I also have used them for lipstick, I'm not going to lie. That'll be for another tutorial, so I'm not going to get into that right now. But we're going to go ahead and jump into this brown. So I've got my other little tin here. I'm going to tilt you back down so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to clean off my scooper because we just did the blue. And I'm going to take my clean shot glass and I'm going to do the same amount. So I'm going to do 1 scoop and 2 scoops. This is so shiny and pretty. I can't wait to see how this looks. I've always made the mistake of not putting the lids on and then I wind up spilling them. So if you're like me, you're probably going to want to go ahead and put your lid back on. Alright, I'm going to break that up a little bit before I put my liquid in. Got my glycerin and my rubbing alcohol, shake it up. And I'm going to do my few drops. And then I'm going to take my spatula and we're going to start mixing. Again, it's going to clump up like it did before, but that's fine. Just scoop it off the side and mix it right back in with what you're doing. This is going to be gorgeous. Oh my God. I love it. All right. Once you get it mixed to what you want, like I said, I like mine to be a little, like I said, it's messy. I like mine to have a little clump to it because when you pack it, it's not going to matter in the end. So I'm mixing that all together, and I actually think this one might need another drop or two, which is fine. If you notice that while you're doing it, go for it. So I'm literally just putting a couple of drops extra. And if you think that you're going to need more product, like I said before, go ahead and put you some more powder in there. All you got to do, if you're going to put more powder, you need more glycerin and you need more rubbing alcohol, or it's not going to mix right. All right, once you've got it the way you want it, same thing that we did before, I'm going to scoop this into my tin, pack it down just a little bit, and then we're going to add the rest. This is going to be a gorgeous color. I cannot wait for this to set. All right. Got that where I want it. Again, same thing as before. Taking my paper towel, but a clean side and my quarter. So I'm going to lay that down on top. I'm going to take my quarter and I'm going to press. You're actually applying quite a firm amount of pressure. See how that's coming off there? That's that excess glycerin and that excess rubbing alcohol. So we're gonna go again because it was still kind of wet. Still kind of wet, so we're gonna keep going. Like I said, some of them are gonna be different than others. Once you get your mixture right, you won't have to press as much. The first time I did this, I had to press one color like 9 times. But the more you press, the quicker it's gonna dry in the long run. So make sure you get as much of that excess rubbing alcohol and glycerin as you can. All right, perfect. So here's how this one turned out. Pretty like bronzy, browny, shiny, shimmery color. I love it. It's gorgeous. All right, and our last one, I told you how I was going to show you how I clean out these little guys because I was going to have to. I'm just taking my rubbing alcohol and I'm going to squirt some in there and mix it around, and this is just going to help me clean this out so that I'm not mixing pigments unless you want to. I guess if you want to come up with something crazy, you can. And I'm just going to take a paper towel. It's going to soak up the excess. And all I'm doing is cleaning out this glass. So, that was an awful sound. I am so sorry. All right, and then you have a clean glass, so you're ready for the next one. So our last color that we're going to do is it's called Capri Spirit. It is number 21. It's a beautiful yellow, like canary yellow color. So that's the one we're going to do next. I'm going to flip this guy over to my clean side, cleanish side. Clean off my spatula here so we're not mixing pigments. And take my empty tin and this yellow, which I have used before, so I know how beautiful it's going to be, but this is what it looks like. Also need to clean off my little scooper. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to do my scoop and my second scoop. I have found that about that much is really all you need. It fills the tin nicely. You get quite a bit of, a nice amount of product in there. All right, taking my glycerin and my alcohol, gonna give myself a few drops, and my spatula, and we're gonna start stirring. And I'm sorry for the noise. It's gonna get stuck, that's fine. Drag it around the outer edge and put it back in there and mix it with the rest. This one is definitely gonna need a few more drops. Just eyeball it as you go, and it's fine that you do that. Still needs a few more, so go for it. There we go. That's going to be perfect. I'm going to break it up a little bit more before I put it in the pan. Like I said, we're scooping it off the edge there, and that's fine. All right, here we go. Oh, beautiful. Pack it down a little bit once you got it in your pan. And we're going to take the rest. That covered it nicely. I'm going to pack it down a little bit more here. And that just kind of helps it to set before you do your paper towel, because you're going to pack it, again, like I said, with the quarter and the paper towel. So I'm going to pick a clean side of my paper towel, the same one I've been using, so you don't have to waste them. And I'm going to do the same thing. Fit my quarter right in there, and I'm going to pack it. Like I said, nice firm amount of pressure. Oop. Get out of there, little guy. This one actually did really well. There's hardly any coming out, so I must have done the mixture just right. And each one I found is going to be a little different than the last, so don't be discouraged. Just keep trying. And then by the end of it, look how gorgeous that yellow is. It turned out beautiful. So what I'm going to do, hold on, bear with me, guys. Let me make a little space here. Clean off these loose pigments. Put this guy down so I can show y'all what we came up with today. Beautiful. So this is the yellow. This is that brown. This is the blue and the pink. I am so excited to use this pink, honestly, y'all. That's gorgeous. Alright, so this is what we came up with. These were the pigments that we used, and this was the palette that we came up with. So, I'm going to dip my fingers in here and show y'all what it looks like on skin. It is not going to look this way in a couple of days. Like I said, you have to let it set for about 24 to 48 hours. The longer the better, honestly, before you decide to use it. If you were in a pinch, I guess you could use it right now, but it hasn't had enough time to dry. So, this is the blue. So, I'll show you what that looks like. Beautiful. Add just a teeny bit more. Like I said, they are really pigmented, so they come out beautifully. All right, we're going to dip into the pink real quick. Like I said, they're not completely dry, so keep in mind that in a couple of days when you get ready to actually use these, the color may have changed just a little bit. That's why you play around with it. All right, there's the blue and the pink so far. Now we're going to dip into that pretty bronzy brown. Oh, I knew it was going to be gorgeous. Look at that. Love it. And last but not least, our little canary yellow here. Just as beautiful. Oh, wow. Look how those turned out. Super impressed. Don't mind my old lady wrinkly hands. Anyway, that's what we came up with. And this is the palette. So, messy, like I said. Love it, though. Look at that. That's just one streak. Be sure to, let me bring you back up here, guys. If you liked what we did today and how we came up with this palette, please subscribe to my channel, like it, comment. If you have questions for me, I'm an open book, so please ask away. Share this shit with your friends. Let's make my shit go viral.